Welcome to Get Your Mind Right, your regular dose of insights and motivation for merchant service sales, digital marketing, and personal growth.
Good morning. John Johnson here, and welcome to Get Your Mind Right. This is the world's only podcast devoted to merchant services and digital marketing professionals. I want to talk to you folks this morning about Galileo Galilei. Now, this was a real person, not just the subject of Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody. In 1610, Galileo published a work that's called Starry Messenger that quite literally changed the trajectory of man's understanding of the natural world and the universe. Galileo's contribution to science, mathematics, and engineering and astronomy cannot be overstated. Have you ever heard of Stephen Hawking? Well, Hawking said that, quote, Galileo bears the responsibility for the birth of modern science, end quote. How about Albert Einstein? Einstein once called Galileo the, quote, father of modern science. Now, what made Galileo's starry messenger different is that he just didn't make claims, he backed them up with observable evidence. In the year of 1610, this was a brand new concept. He used his telescope to make groundbreaking discoveries like the moons of Jupiter and the mountains on the moon, all of which challenged the long-held belief that the Earth was the center of the universe. Now, Galileo's work wasn't just about making a bold statement. He provided data, facts, and clear observations that forced people to reconsider their view of the cosmos. 415 years later, we can use the trail that Galileo blazed in the form of white papers and case studies that provide us, digital marketing and merchant services professionals, the evidence-backed narrative that we need to shift conversation. In today's session, we're going to break down how white papers work as a tool for authority, trust building, and closing deals. By the end of this, you're going to see how we use this approach to turn your prospects into partners, further positioning you as an expert who can not just offer solutions, but offer proof. So let's start off the basics here. What is a case study? Well, think of case studies as a high-level guide to understanding a key challenge and how to solve it. Here's some of the key elements. Your first thing is they're research driven. Unlike blog posts, case studies and white papers are founded on data, results, and research. You are presenting in-depth analysis and credible information that shows that you understand the landscape of your industry. And by nature, these tools are educational and they solve problems. White papers aim to educate your audience, not just promote a product. They provide value by addressing problems prospects face and explaining the best ways to overcome them. Good case study offers solutions, not just a sales pitch. And lastly, they are solution-oriented. While they start with an analysis of this issue at hand, case studies propose clear and actionable solutions. Now, for us, these solutions should always tie back to how evolved services can solve those challenges. Case study is a double whammy in that they're both informative and persuasive. They are a tool that showcase your expertise while offering valuable fact-based insights to your prospects. The value of case studies lies in their ability to shift the conversation from a sales pitch to a trusted, evidence-backed narrative. And the fact that we're using third-party validation over your personal opinion is the key to success. Because when a sales rep shares their insights, it can feel like a sales tactic. Whereas case studies cite third-party research or industry studies. They transform the conversation into one based on objective data and industry expertise. For example, instead of you saying, well, our marketing solutions are best for improving lead conversion, a white paper could present independent studies showing how businesses using your solution saw a 20% increase in conversions, supported by credible sources like Forrester Research or Gartner. Now, a client reduces their risk through research and case studies. This is a very, very important concept because clients often feel risk averse and they need reassurance before committing. A white paper, especially one that includes case studies from third-party companies or industry experts, helps mitigate that risk by providing real-world evidence that the solution actually works. And the last is that long-term value trumps intermediate need, because sales conversations often focus on the intermediate needs of the prospect. Case studies, on the other hand, can provide long-term insights that not only address the intermediate pain point, but also highlight future trends and strategies for long-term success. Here's another example of incorporating this concept. Rather than saying, our solution is going to solve your current website traffic issue, a white paper might discuss the evolving digital marketing strategies over the next 5 years and show how the solution you're proposing can future-proof their marketing efforts. At the end of the day, case studies provide the objectivity, credibility, and evidence-based insights that prospects need to make confident decisions. And what this does is shift the conversation from your salesperson's pitch to independent valuation, industry research, or real world results.
Thanks for
All
listening.
these things
Be
add
sure
up
to
to add
tune in
authority
every
and
Monday,
depth to your
Wednesday, and
solution.
Friday at 9:30
It's
Eastern.
difficult for
Like, follow,
for
share,
a
and set
prospect
your
to
reminders.
dismiss
And
this.
remember, always keep your mind right.
Now, next, white papers are an incredible way to build authority and trust with your prospects. As you know, this is a crucial, if not critical, factor when you're looking to convert just a lead into a client. White papers excel at this by demonstrating your expertise, because what you're doing is presenting in-depth knowledge on a topic. You're demonstrating your prospects that you understand their challenges and you know how to address them. This makes you stand out from your competitors because they position you as a thought leader in your field. And when your prospects see you as an expert, well, guess what? They're going to be much more likely to trust your recommendations. And this is the help to build your credibility, because case studies prove to be credible sources of information. They're often backed up by industry data, direct experience, and those all important and pesky facts. When you share these resources with prospects, you're not just sending a marketing piece. You're sending them those valuable research-based insights that demonstrate your deep understanding of the industry, and even more importantly, how you're applying that to their situation. Now, last, before we leave this topic here, is you are providing value before asking for anything in return. Now, one of the most effective ways to build trust with your prospect is to give before you ask. It's a great thing about a white paper, because it doesn't want anything in return. This whole proposition here is a value-first approach. You're offering valuable information up front without an immediate sales pitch. You're going to find this goes a long way in establishing rapport with your prospects. And down the road, when you do give them that sales or have that sales conversation with them, you're going to find they're a lot more receptive to it. When you consistently offer high-quality white papers, you're quickly building that relationship based on what we want, and that's trust and credibility. Over time, of course, this translates into more sales conversions. Now, you use white papers in a number of ways. They are incredibly versatile, and they play a crucial role throughout the sales funnel. At the very beginning and through the middle of the sales process, case studies serve as a lead magnet for top and middle of the funnel opportunities. Now, if you go out there and you're offering free case studies on social media, you're attracting prospects who are interested in solving a problem, but you know what? They may not be ready to talk to a sales rep just yet. This stage is about building awareness and capturing attention, garnering attention. Additionally, your case study will provide you valuable content that guides your potential prospects towards your service or product as the best solution. It's a very, very soft way of doing this. Case studies are also highly effective for closing deals at the bottom of the funnel. Now, when you're at this stage, prospects are looking for concrete proof of value, and that's what case studies do. You can use them to highlight real world results that demonstrate the impact of your solution. Now that you've seen these white papers function each stage, let's look at your day-to-day sales activity. Let's get down to the basic tactics here. How do we actually use case studies and white papers to engage and convert prospects? Now, the first one's really easy, and hopefully you're doing this already, and that's through email campaigning. Use case studies as part of your nurturing process. When you meet a prospect, Offering to send them a case study will help them understand a key challenge that they're facing. You'll follow up with additional resources over time. Email campaigns provide value, they establish authority, and they keep your prospect engaged. All things that we want to strive to do. Here's a great example. Let's say you've had a discovery call with a new lead. Send them over a white paper on cost-saving strategies and payment processing. This builds credibility and keeps you top of mind. Now, white papers are also a powerful tool during actual sales meetings. After discussing the pain points your prospect is facing, share a white paper that can directly address their challenge and how you're going to solve it. And during a call with a prospect looking to improve their website's conversion rates, share a case study paper on best practices for optimizing landing pages and improving that all-important user experience. Use these as a tool to guide the conversation, provide insights, and show them how you can redesign their site for higher engagement and improved lead conversion. So, now that we know how to create and use white papers and case studies, let's talk about how to get them in front of the right audience. Personally, I like using social media. Now, if you guys follow me, you already know this. I like posting teasers. I do that by sharing snippets or key insights from my white papers on social media. You can use quotes or infographics to drive curiosity and encourage people to download the full paper or to go to your blog site. Now, if you got a case study, for example, on cutting-edge digital marketing strategies, post that teaser with a key stat or fact that entices your audience to download the full paper. Show an example. It's very easy to create short video clips or stories on social media platforms. It's going to highlight the main points of your case study. You're going to find that this drives engagement, encourages viewers to download the paper for more details. Our sales support uses this extensively in an impactful fashion by emailing huddle snippets. Now, don't forget to use relevant hashtags when sharing your white paper on social media. This is going to help amplify, increase the visibility, and the reach of your content. To wrap it up, white papers and case studies are some of the most effective tools at your disposal to build authority, generate leads, and at the end of the day, close sales. Let's make this actionable. Start thinking about how you can use white papers in your sales strategy. What challenges are your prospects facing? And how can you create a white paper to address those challenges? As always, use social media to amplify the impact of your white paper and get it in front of the right audience. Hey folks, I hope you enjoyed this episode here today. And more importantly, take one or two of these items and run with it. That's the only way you're ever going to get results is by trying it, road testing it, and seeing what works for you. If you like what you heard today, I encourage you to share it with a friend or a colleague. That is the only way we're growing this podcast is by word of mouth. And if you have it in your heart, please hit a share, like, or subscribe button. Thanks for tuning in today. This is John Johnson. Until next time, get your mind right.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to tune in every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9:30 Eastern. Like, follow, share, and set your reminders. And remember, always keep your mind right.